Okay everyone, hi, it's William from ESL Jewellery on number 2 Chatham Street. What we're going to look at today is a reclawing of a diamond ring. So we see this a lot and it's very common, and it's great to know that you can leave it in somewhere and get this job done well and satisfactorily. This ring here is a 3-stone diamond ring. It's got a centre round stone, and the claws, the 4 claws holding it in, have worn down. This will be about 15 or 20 years old, and that would be standard for the amount of time that the claws would last. So what I now need to do is replace those claws. Your other alternative is to have the ring remade, but I believe that having it repaired is equally satisfactory and a much cheaper option. So what I need to do initially is to find out what size wire was on the diamond ring originally. So I measure that, and I'll find a piece of wire and measure it here, and as you see, we're looking at about just under 0.8 of a millimetre, which is exactly what I'd expect it to be. I double check it with a visual aspect as well to make sure that that looks proportionate to the stone and what was there originally. What we often do is mill it, and that'll flatten it down from 0.8 to maybe 0.7 and spread it out a little bit, which makes a more appropriate claw to put on. So we do one claw at a time, and I have to use a ball phrase to clear up the old metal that was on this diamond. Take the stone out, we check everything, and then we reset the stone back in. When I go to solder the claw onto the ring, I need to make sure that the wire is perfectly clean. Therefore I give it a little file and put a few rough marks on it, and that cleans any dust or dirt or grease off the metal, but also gives me a better soldering base to solder two metals together. I then cut a tiny piece of solder, which literally is the size of a pinhead, and that will sit in between the original ring, the original claw, and the new claw that I'm putting on. We then use the flux, which you'll see next is this yellow solution that encourages the solder to run in the right direction. So we put all that in place, and then once we know we've got everything lined up and the solder there ready, we get the torch out. I'm looking to gradually heat up the whole ring here. After you've done every solder joint, you just like to check it. Sometimes the odd solder joint doesn't work because your temperature's either gone too high or too low. So this claw is taken perfectly. We push it over with our pusher to make sure it sits over the diamond just nicely, and then we take our saw blade and we cut off the excess metal. And we now have one new claw on the ring, which is great. It protrudes out the bottom a bit and it protrudes out the top a bit, so which is what I want. You always have excess metal, and then you file it up into the right shape that you want afterwards, as you can see I'm doing here. That's us finished the first claw. You see we've cut off the excess metal, we file it up. That's the first claw done. It's exactly the same process for the next 3 claws. So once I've finished putting the claws on, I refile it up in a finer file, get them absolutely perfect. So we polished the whole ring now, it looks perfect. We just need to ultrasonic it, which is to remove all the dirt. We have a little ultrasonic bath, which we clean it in, and then we give it a spray with a steam cleaner, and the ring basically looks as good as it did when it was brand new 20 years ago. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll catch you again soon. That's me from William at ESL. Goodbye.